All right, hello, it's 8:30. Welcome to the weather update. It's July 17th, and we've got to talk about some severe weather once again. It's all been missing Long Island, but we have another severe thunderstorm that is just around Trenton right now, entering extreme western New Jersey. And the story today is they've all been basically forming over central New Jersey, moving northeast and just moving northwest of New York City. We haven't really seen any storms here on Long Island except for some rather threatening skies. And if you look at the skies here, you'll see the kind of skies that we had. Well, I wouldn't say threatening, but we had, this was in the evening here, we had this cirrus move in with the storms there. Kind of, the camera was so humid, the camera was fogged up. That's how humid it was today. And then this was earlier this afternoon with some storm clouds. Again, Anvil and Mammatus clouds from a passing storm north and west of New York City. But again, we didn't really get anything here. Just all these cool-looking clouds to look at. But they are getting hammered right now. Let's look at all the lightning going on right now. Right around Trenton. Trenton is getting hammered. Tons and tons of lightning around the Trenton area right now. And this is going to start moving into central New Jersey. And it's probably going to take that northwest to southeast track again. This is what it looks like here on the National Weather Service radar. And you can see the storms right here over Trenton. And they are moving toward the northeast. But again, with that kind of motion, we'll have to see if this can hold together or not when it reaches New York City or not. But I have a feeling it won't because it's much warmer over here and it's much more cooler over Long Island. When we go and we look at the current temperatures, you'll see that. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for that particular cell. We're still under the severe thunderstorm watch in Nassau County till 11 o'clock. And we have that severe thunderstorm warning for southern Mercer, Burlington, southwestern Monmouth, and southeastern Bucks County until 8:45 p.m. They say the storm has weakened. That's what they say as of 8:40. We'll have to see. It still looks pretty impressive on the radar. Flash flood warning also in effect for that area too, because there's been a lot of rain in parts of Jersey. Again, the same areas just getting hit over and over and over again. That kind of, that this is what's happening because of the atmospheric setup. We have a very slow moving front, and it's just taking its sweet time moving through. Looking at our current conditions around our area, you can see all the colors here. You can see Suffolk County is not included in the severe thunderstorm watch, which it is indicating that they feel that the stability here is going to prevent the storms from maintaining their severe levels once they eventually do get toward us. Let's look at some of our temperatures right now across the area, and you will see it's pretty sultry out there. Temperatures have dropped into the upper 70s at least, but the dew points are still in the mid-70s, so it's extremely humid out there. Very, very humid today. Extremely humid. 79 with the dew point of 75 at Islip. But it's hotter as you get into Jersey. Well, not now because of the storm, so it was hotter earlier. And that's the energy that's being fueled for these storms. You can see Newark is... Kenilworth is 77 with a dew point of 76. So those are the kind of conditions you're dealing with in Jersey right now. Let's go take a look at the precipitation. First, we'll look at the high temperatures today, and then we'll look at the precipitation. Let's get that on the screen. So, wow, we still managed to get into the 90s here. 91, Carl Place. 88 at Farmingdale, still pretty hot. 88 at Islip. So earlier on, it was pretty hot. But when we got that Anvil cloud that came in with those thunderstorms, it blocked the sun and dropped the temperatures down quite a bit. But across Long Island, temperatures still upper 80s to around 90. And on the North Shore, you got 94 in Locust Valley. That's really hot. Even on the South Shore, not that much relief. You got temperatures in this. So similar to yesterday, pretty warm. And as you go in toward the city, it was 90 in Central Park, 91 at LaGuardia, 88 at JFK. Let's see what Newark got up to, 93. And look at some of these highs here in Central Jersey. This is the kind of heat that's fueling these storms, mid and even upper 90s in certain areas like Sayreville, 97. Let's see how it was further south toward Toms River. 92 there in downtown. Times over 94 in Lakehurst. So pretty hot, and you can see the highs around Philadelphia getting up into the mid 90s. So that's the kind of heat along with the humidity that's fueling these storms, slow moving front. Now let's look at the other big story, which is these areas that got hit by the storms. Got a lot of rain, so let's go take a look at that. We'll move this up to midnight. It could be 4 a.m., whatever, that's fine. So you can see where the rain fell. I'm going to move this over here so you can get an idea of some of these numbers here with rainfall. So you can see, look at some of these areas with the rainfall. Clinton Township, I think that's Pennsylvania, 3.39. So these storms are moving into areas that have already gotten a lot of rain from earlier. 1.29 in Mercer County, 1.20 in Kenilworth, 2 inches at LaGuardia, 2.02 inches. So these are the kind of areas, I mean, not LaGuardia, but Newark, 2.02 inches. So some of these areas in Jersey got 1 to 2 inches of rain because those storms late this afternoon were just sitting over them, and they were just sitting and popping over the same areas over and over and over again, and nothing to move them along. We can also look at Wonder Map, and let's look at some of the precipitation amounts today. This will give us even more information. Nothing on Long Island, but again, if you look at parts of Jersey, you can see where these higher amounts occurred here in that Hudson, Union, Essex County, Eastern Essex County area there. 1.55 there in Union. So you got between 1 and 2 inches in many of these spots where these storms are sitting over, and now more rain is coming. And it looks like they got around, depending on where you were in the city, Central Park got around 1/4 of an inch, but you have other areas that got a little more. So depending on where you were, Hoboken, 1.36. So look at that right across. Look, nothing, and then see where the storms were kind of just sitting in the same spots, but they really weren't making much eastward progress. So let's take a look and see what our various weather stations were today here. Carl Place, close to 80 degrees, still kind of at 79. Got up to 90, and you could see 90. That's interesting. This is saying 90, but the other thing was saying 92. So, I don't know. It must have been another station that was showing that. But around 90, I believe it was more like around 90 degrees. And then you could see right around 3 o'clock when those temperatures dropped, when those clouds moved in and the winds became a little more southerly, that dropped the temperatures down. The humidity's high, all 2 points generally in the mid-70s, so pretty humid. Florida-type humidity that you're dealing with here. Let's go look at some of the other stations. Let's go. I'm sure on the South Shore it was a lot better. Let's go to West Islip. I looked at West Islip. Let's see how West Islip was. Not usually a station I use, but we'll look at that. So it's even a little cooler there right now. Let's see what they got up to. Yeah, they were only in the low 80s, of course. So right on the South Shore, much better conditions. But yeah, again, you have to be right on the South Shore. This is like literally right on the water here. Once you go to North Patchogue, it'll be hotter there. Let's see. Probably got into the upper 80s there. Let's see what it is there right now. So yeah, upper 80s, high was 88.2. So you go upper 80s, a lot warmer. And you're inland far enough that the sea breeze didn't really do too much for you over there. But we can always go to an even hotter location. We can look at Port Washington again, and then we'll go even hotter than that. It's still 81 there right now. Let's see what Port Washington got up to. 92, 92.5. Yeah, you're on the sound, but the sound doesn't do much for you. But you can see that even they got the temperature drop when those clouds moved in. Blocked the sun a little bit there and helped those high cloud, the anvils from those storms. But then we go even to where it's really hot, and we go to the West Desert, west of Toms River, where I'm sure probably upper 90s. Upper 90s probably got up to today. Let's see. It's still 81 there right now. So you can see the heat that's hanging on in Jersey. It's helping to fuel these storms. So, yeah, 94, right? 94.2, not upper 90s, but pretty hot. 94.2. It claims the dew point got up to 82. I'm not sure if I'm buying that, but dew points could have been in the upper 70s in Jersey. It's entirely possible that dew points could have been that high. We can look at a few more observations here. And, look at Belmar Farmingdale here. There's another site in New Jersey here. Let's see what they got up to here. So they only reported a high of 89. Interesting. Actually, there were some scattered thunderstorms around. That's probably what held the temperatures down a little bit. There were some scattered small cells that popped up in Ocean County, very small little cells. So you could see there was one being reported around 2 o'clock there. So that didn't really bring a whole lot of rain, but it kept the temperatures from getting too much hotter over there, at least at Belmar Farmingdale. But if you look at another location, let's see. It's annoying that Ocean County Airport does not work. Let's see if we can find another one. I need Wrightstown. Let's see. Yeah, McGuire Air Force Base. Yeah, this is a good site. This is really hot over here. Yeah, it got up to 95 there today. Look at that. 95, so there you go. And they didn't really get any thunderstorms, so this is the kind of heat they're dealing with, and it's still 83. So these storms, there's plenty of fuel for these storms over Jersey, but I think once they get closer to us, I think they're going to weaken because of that temperature difference. But over Jersey, it's pretty brutal there right now. Mount Holly at 86 at Mount Holly still, or I don't know if that was Mount Holly 86. Oh my God! So that's why these storms are exploding over there. And we'll look at the radar again one more time later, but let's go look at them. Let's shift our focus to the models now and show you what's going to be happening here. We've got this very slow cold front moving through. It moves through tonight, kind of gets a little hung up to our south there. We have a little bit of unsettledness here, and then we try to build this high down later on in the week. But before we get there, we're going to just focus on the rest of this weekend, all right, because we still have to deal with these thunderstorms. So let me go to the HRRR. Don't have the 0Z run in yet, which sucks, so I have to go to the 18Z run. And let's go take a look and see. So here are what's going to happen. You can see HRRR seems to weaken the storm somewhat by the time they get to us. But they could get to our area around, say, 11 or midnight or so. We could see these storms, but in a weakened state, I think. They move through, and then we could have a slight chance of a very small isolated shower thunderstorm tomorrow. Monday, looks like we're going to have, again, another slight chance. Because you can see you got this low pressure area that's kind of just hanging out over here. So that is going to keep us in it's a little bit of an unsettledness right through Monday. But what we will notice is that the temperature should be lower. So we look at the HRRR temperatures, and we look at tomorrow, you'll see only low and middle 80s maybe. Probably not even mid 80s, low 80s. And then for Monday, we're dealing with 70s. May not even be 80s. All right. But there will be, I think, some cloud cover with this unsettledness. The dew points, I think they're still going to be dealing with some dew points. So we're going to still be dealing with some humidity to start tomorrow with dew points in the low to mid 70s. And then I think to see the dew points start going down into Monday, and we have dew points in the mid and upper 60s. It's still not great, but it's better than what we've been dealing with. And that's the key. If we want to go further and look along at we can go to the GFS here and look at the dew points. I really don't want to go any further than Monday at this point. I think we'll do that tomorrow because we got our hands full with the weather, severe weather tonight. And that severe thunderstorm watch is still in effect until 11 p.m. tonight. I want to go look at the NAM3, and I want to look at the thunderstorm threat on this as well as we head into the night. And this also takes us through Monday, too. So, again, you'll see NAM seems to have a really strong cell over the city and then evaporates it. So we'll have to see. But the tendency is, as it moves into the more stable area over Long Island, that it would weaken. And then tomorrow, you see that low sitting over us. Slight chance of showers or thunderstorms around that low. And then we're still dealing with that slight chance on Monday as well. You can see that we're more on the northwest side of it, so the humidity should be lower. But there's still a slight chance of a shower or a thunderstorm on Monday as well with this low. Let's go look at the sky. And we'll do that. So tomorrow, I think we'll have a decent amount of clouds around to start. Maybe a little sun in the afternoon, but I think clouds went out. I think more sun on Monday, and then more building clouds. So I don't think we're going to see any clear days, and especially we got to still deal with the smoke. So we're going to go to that next, which you can clearly see. You can actually see it pretty well. Let's put this on at 36. Look at all that smoke. There it is. So this is what we're going to be dealing with. Lots and lots of smoke. Once we get past these storms, you can see the air behind it is full of smoke. So we're not going to be seeing any nice blue skies anytime soon. You can still see some of the smoke over it. Look at that. Look at that effect. Look at that. I'm going to pause this for a minute. Right there. Take a look at that. You can see that this is the smoke at the lower levels of the atmosphere, because again, you see this is like in the afternoon. You can actually see here's the thunderstorm and the cumulonimbus cloud here, and look at the shade. It's actually providing a shade. This is an area where the sun is blocked, and you can see that the smoke is not being illuminated here. But once you go east of that, where the sun's out, you see all the smoke. So this is what I mean about the smoke. We're going to be dealing with the smoke for quite a while. These fires are still going. And I'm going to talk more about that tomorrow as well. All right, because again, we've got our hands full with the severe weather, and again, this satellite frame really shows the story today. All the activity off to the north and all the activity off to the north and the west, while Long Island isn't really dealing with much storms at all. So let's go to Ventus Sky, and we'll move this into tomorrow. So you get an idea of what tomorrow looks like on Ventus Sky, and you'll see temperatures a lot lower than today. And you see southerly flow, a little more of a westerly flow over Jersey, but still, it won't be nearly as hot. We'll look at the thunderstorm threat. We still have some Cape levels, so this is what I mean. There's still a threat of thunderstorms, not severe probably. I'll go to SPC, but there's still a threat of some severe thunderstorms tomorrow. It won't be a great day either. It won't be a great day. So let's go to the SPC Storm Prediction Center, and we'll look at, you can see that they've put now the area to our west and a slight risk now. So if we look at the current one here, this is the current one. You can see that slight risk. It actually has us in a yellow area now. Slight risk for severe weather now. So they've upgraded us from marginal. Let's look at tomorrow. Tomorrow is, we're not going to see anything. But tonight, we're still in that severe thunderstorm watch, so it's still close enough that we're going to have to watch and see what happens. Let's look at the radar one more time. I'm going to look at the National Weather Service radar and the lightning one more time for these storms so we can get an idea. In fact, let me use the Mount Holly one, because this is where these storms are coming from. So this just gives you an idea of where they're heading. So you can still see that southwest and northeast movement, but there's plenty of heat over Jersey. So I think this line is going to really maintain its strength. If not, there might be another warning issued for this. I don't know why this doesn't show the warnings up on this radar, but I think there'll be another warning issued for this storm, and I think it's going to maintain all of its strength until maybe it gets closer to New York City and gets east of New York City, and then we'll start to see some weakening. There's plenty of heat over Jersey to keep these storms going, and even when you're done with this, we've got more back here, so we'll have to keep watching this as well. And we can look at the lightning and see I'm still seeing probably plenty of lightning being produced by this storm here. Not quite like before. Yeah, it is starting to maybe weaken a little bit, but still a decent amount of lightning with it that's going to have to be watched as this thing moves closer to us. And we'll have to see if this holds together and affects our area or weakens. But we're not out of the woods yet. We still got 2 more hours of the severe thunderstorm watch to go. And for Nassau County, Suffolk County, no, but Nassau County, yes. The city and New Jersey, of course, and Connecticut with the severe thunderstorm watch. So have a good night and pay attention. And if you are in New Jersey, you're probably going to get a good thunderstorm. But for us on Long Island, I think we're going to miss out on most of the action. Have a good night.